All right, so with mixed numbers, remember that you have two possible names for the mixed numbers. First, we can name them according to how many sections they are divided into. So this first one, these all three are going to be the same as far as the bottom number 1. If we go like that's halfway or whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we know that they're divided into tenths. So we can start off here with, if I can get it to write for me, with 10 as our bottom number. And we need to count how many tenths are actually filled in here. So we know that we have, keep in mind first, how many tenths does it take to make a whole? It takes 10 tenths. So we know that this one has all 10. This one has all 10 as well. So we've got 20 tenths so far. Go on to this one, 21, 22, 23. So our first possible name is 23 tenths. Remember that if we have a larger number on top than we do on the bottom, it is called an improper fraction. Better to type that. Lovely. Improper. Okay. Now, our other possible answer here has to do with how many whole numbers did we fill up? If we're thinking of this as pizza, for instance, and it takes 10 slices to make one whole pizza. Well, we've eaten one whole pizza if we've eaten everything that's been colored in. We've eaten 2 whole pizzas if we've eaten everything that's colored in. So we have a big 2 for that whole number. Then we look at this last one that isn't all eaten. It's not all gone. How many pieces are actually gone from it? 1, 2, 3. So that's our top number, our numerator. The bottom number is still going to be how many sections was your pizza divided into, and it was 10. So our two possible answers here then are 23 tenths, which is an improper fraction, and 2 and 3 tenths, which is a mixed number. Let's look at this one down here. So remember, our first thing is to see how many sections will it take to make a whole. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. So these are divided into fifths. So 5 would be our bottom number. First, let's just see how many fifths are filled in. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we come over here, 6, 7, 8, 9. So our first possibility would be 9 fifths. Now, our second answer is going to be the mixed number. So if these are pizzas and they're divided into 5 pieces, pieces per pizza, this one was completely filled in. So that's our one whole. So then this one's not completely filled in. So we want to count how many fifths are colored in. 1 fifth, 2 fifths, 3 fifths, 4 fifths. So we have one whole and 4 fifths. And those are our two possible answers here. All right, so we've got a ratio table here. And let's say you need to figure out the mixed number for a fraction, an improper fraction, or you have the mixed number and you need to come up with the improper fraction. So here is one way to do that. We've got 5 halves. That means literally that we've got 1 half, 2 halves, 3 halves, 4 halves, 5 halves. So let's come up with a model here. And I'm going to need one more. So for 5 halves, I've got 1 half, 2 halves, 3 halves, 4 halves, 5 halves. So this is what 5 halves modeled looks like. Now, how many holes do I have? I have 1 hole, 2 holes. So I need a big 2. Now, what's the fraction of what's left over? The bottom number is going to be 2 because all of these were split into half. And we have one of them filled in. So it'd be 2 and 1 half. All right, let's look at this one. So this one's 6 halves. So if I've got 6 halves, I've got 1 half, 2 halves, 3 halves, 4 halves, 5 halves, 6 halves. Now when I go to write my answer, how many holes do I have? This one's whole, this one's another one, so we've got 2, and the third one, so that's 3. So I just have a 3. I don't have a fraction with it. I just have a whole number as my answer. Okay. Let's get rid of these. And now we've got 6/3. So we need to make a model in thirds, 3 parts. And we're going to have 6 of them. So here's 3 of them. So I would need 2. So now I've got 6/3 total. 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, 4/3, 5/3, 6/3. How many holes did I cover? 1, 2. So I don't have an actual mixed number, I just have the number 2. Kind of like we just had the number 3. So in this next part, we have 1 4/5. We need to figure out what that would be as an improper fraction. So this is divided in fifths, so that's what we need for our fractions, for our models down here. We need 5 sections. So I'm going to make another circular one with 5 sections. Pull it down here. It says we have 1 hole filled in and then 4/5 more. So that means we can use 2 of these pizzas. So it says 1 hole. So let's fill in our 1 hole. And then 4 more fifths. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now to figure out our improper fraction, we're looking at how many fifths do we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fifths. So our improper fraction then would be 9/5. The fifths part stays the same. One more. So this is also in fifths, so that helps a lot. But it's 2 1/5. So let's go ahead and give that another one, another 2 here. I'm going to copy this, but then I need to take off some of the color, don't I? So let's take it all off. There we go. So now we've got 2 holes, and then it says 1 more fifth. So this is what the model would look like. Now, how many fifths total is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So our improper fraction for 2 1/5 would be 11 fifths. All right, so let's look at your assignment for today. Today's assignment is fractions and mixed numbers. And on the first page, it says the circles below are divided into equal parts. Write two fractions to show what part of each circle is filled in. So our example here, we have two answers, 1/2, because 1/2 of it is filled in, and 2/4. Now, on this page, all you're writing are two equivalent fractions. So if we look at this one, for instance, if you could think of this as just being in fourths, how many fourths are colored in? Then look at how many sections this is actually cut into. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And how many of those eighths are colored in? So here you have two fractions that are equivalent. We've got 1/4 and we have 2/8. That's what you're doing on each of these. Then on the back side, it says the circles below are divided into equal parts. Write a fraction and a mixed number to show how many circles are filled in. For mixed numbers, think about how many holes have been filled and what of the fraction is left. So our example here, the fraction is 6/4. We saw that it was in fourths, and then they counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 goes on top of fourths. The mixed number for that was there was one hole filled in and 1/2 more. Remember that as a fourth grader, 1 and 2/4 would have been fine as well. On number 3, fill in the missing fractions or mixed numbers. So across the top, kind of like what we were doing here, across the top we have our improper fractions. Across the bottom we have our mixed numbers. You are more than welcome to build these to check yourself like this. That is totally up to you. And when you finish this, make sure you turn it in and that you do still do one session of extra math. And I also need you to send me a message today and tell me what 2 times 4 is, just to show me that you were listening to the video today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Bye.